I recently came across Richard Dawkins' latest remarks, where he labels himself as a cultural Christian. This phrase, especially coming from a figure who championed atheistic thought with such vigour, initially threw me for a loop. How does a staunch critic of religious belief find solace in the very cultural fabric he once seemed eager to unravel? This blog post is my attempt to unpack Dawkins' paradoxical identity claim and explain why I think it doesn't quite make him a Christian in the traditional sense. Understanding cultural Christianity. The term cultural Christianity often pops up in discussions about secular appreciation for Christian traditions. Without adhering to the faith's theological doctrines, it's about enjoying the communal and cultural perks, like Christmas carols and community morals, that have their roots in Christian traditions, all while steering clear of actual spiritual belief. Dawkins, with his formidable reputation as a leading atheist, embracing this term is both intriguing and, admittedly, a bit perplexing. Dawkins' atheistic legacy. Richard Dawkins has been a beacon for atheists everywhere, with his critical views on religion encapsulated in his seminal book, The God Delusion. His arguments against religious doctrines have furnished many with the intellectual armour to challenge theistic beliefs. His recent alignment with any facet of Christianity seems, at first glance, a stark contradiction to his life's work. Dissecting Dawkins' comments. Dawkins' recent interviews shed light on his nuanced take. He finds a sense of belonging in the cultural aspects of Christianity. He enjoys the hymns, the carols, and the Christian ethos that pervades his cultural landscape. Yet he maintains a clear boundary between appreciating cultural elements and subscribing to the spiritual doctrines of Christianity. Critical analysis, cultural affinity versus spiritual belief, historical and cultural influence. Dawkins doesn't shy away from acknowledging the profound impact Christian culture has had on Western society. His recognition is intellectual, appreciating the framework without partaking in the faith. Separation from theological Christianity. True Christianity involves a deep-rooted belief in the divine and adherence to biblical scripture, elements Dawkins does not embrace. His stance highlights a distinction between enjoying the fruits of Christian culture and actually believing in the divine orchard from which they sprung. Consistency with secular humanism. Like many secular humanists, Dawkins can admire the moral stories and artistic achievements born from religious contexts, while wholly rejecting their supernatural underpinnings. His position reflects a broader, perhaps more sophisticated, appreciation of how cultural elements can be divorced from their religious origins, implications of embracing cultural Christianity. By identifying as a cultural Christian, Dawkins is not converting but acknowledging the undeniable Christian influences that permeate certain cultural aspects. This doesn't dilute his atheism. Instead, it opens up a dialogue about recognizing and respecting cultural heritage, without needing to subscribe to its religious tenets. Cultural Christian does not a Christian make Richard Dawkins remains a staunch atheist. His declaration of being a cultural Christian is not a religious awakening, but an admission of the cultural and ethical influences that Christianity has wielded over Western civilization. This label allows him to appreciate and critique these influences simultaneously, providing a unique standpoint from which to discuss the secular uses of religious culture. Call to action. Let's talk about this. What does cultural Christianity mean to you? Is it possible to separate the cultural aspects of Christianity from its theological roots completely? I'm eager to hear your thoughts and engage in this fascinating discussion below, and be sure to visit us at unveilingdogma.com for more articles, blog posts, community discussions and information.